come to an end last night. The Canadiens looking to win back-to-back games for the first time this season. Making a quick pit stop in Philly tonight to face off against the Flyers. Of the season for the Canadiens, and they have yet to win away from the Bell Center, hoping tonight is the night. And it was a great night for Montreal yesterday, got the win, and Kirby Dach scored his first goal since March of 2023. The drought is over. And next up for Dach and the Habs, the Flyers, who are also playing the second game of the back-to-back, and it's going to be a special one for 22-year-old Alexei Kolosov, who is making his NHL debut. And with that, we welcome to Molson Canadiens Hockey here on TSN. I'm your host, Laura Dyken. We have our analyst, Marty Biron, here as well, talking a lot of goaltenders here this evening. But for Montreal, and for the Flyers as well, This is the second game of the back-to-back. And for Montreal, bit of an issue for them in that department last year.
Yeah, it wasn't good for the Montreal Canadiens last year in back-to-back situations, and obviously goaltending has a big part to do with that. So you got to be able to get somebody that can win you games. And last year, a little bit of Caden Primo and Jake Allen in the second game of back-to-backs, 1-11-1. That is not good. That was worse than the National Hockey League. But you look at all these teams on your screen right now, the Flames, the Devils, the Sabres, the Blackhawks, had some goalie issues trying to find a backup, a reliable backup to play that second game in the back-to-backs. And when you look at the Flyers this year, this is their third game in back-to-backs. They're 0-2. They don't have good goaltending either. And so they throw in Kolosov as a rookie to try to see if they can get something going in the second game of a back-to-back.
So the first game of the back-to-back worked out pretty well for Montreal. A great bounce back after that tough outing Tuesday against the Rangers. With more on that, let's head to Philly, where we find Victor Finley and Mike Johnson.
Well, Laura, all of last season, the Montreal Canadiens had just one winless streak that extended beyond 4 games, and they made sure that last night that stopped this season as well, Mike, at 4 games after they get back on the right side of the equation, taking down the St. Louis Blues on Saturday.
A good game for a lot of different reasons. One, to end the losing streak, of course, to get the 2 points, get people feeling a little bit better about themselves. But you think about the offense that's needed for Montreal, and they need contributions throughout their lineup. It can't just be Caulfield and Suzuki and maybe Slavkovsky's when he's in there. Everyone else needs to score. So to see Jake Evans get off one, and Armia, and Kirby Dach, maybe most importantly, guys getting on the score sheet, empty net or not, it does matter. It can help build confidence, alleviate some of the pressure, and carry forward in today's game. That will be big for Montreal if they want to be successful. But maybe more importantly than that, cleaner in their own end. We know defensive zone coverage and defensive zone play has not been a forte for the Montreal Canadiens. They were better, not perfect, but steps in the right direction. They simplified their defensive zone play a little bit in their plan, and it worked pretty well for them. They have to continue to do that to get better in their own end. If they do that, they'll give themselves a chance to be more successful.
You might remember last season, these two teams clashed late while Philadelphia was trying for a playoff push, and the last meeting ended up a 9-3 win for the Montreal Canadiens at the Bell Center.
Offense was front and center in that one, and here's how they'll line up tonight against the Flyers. No changes from what we saw in the win over St. Louis, and some good news as Josh Anderson will play. He left yesterday's game early after blocking a shot, but he appears good to go, and yes, it will be Caden Primo who gets the start here on the second night of the back-to-back. So, Marty, we saw 3 players pick up their first goal of the season yesterday for Cole Caulfield. Caulfield, they just continue to pile up. He now has 7 on this campaign, but he also accomplished a first yesterday.
Yeah, and this was the first time that Cole Caulfield really displayed the shot from the slot. And this is the best quality of Caulfield's game, being able to beat goalies clean, right? As he gets that puck from Nick Suzuki in the neutral zone. See how he attacks the 1-on-2, the middle of the ice, a little delay, little hesitation, and boom, the release is right there. Once again, you see the shoulder shake, right, a couple of times, and then he lets it go. And these are goals that he was scoring last year. Well, you see him in the crease. He's not afraid to go to the dirty areas, the tough areas, but from the slot, he has to be able to beat goaltenders. And you look at the goals last year, 20 of his 28 goals were from the slot on that wrist shot. Only 1 of the 7 in this season. So a lot of goals from really in tight around the crease or to the left side. This was the first one. So it's good for Caulfield that he's been able to find a different way. But now that shot has to be the primary weapon when he comes into the zone, and he showed it against the Blues.
And could be picking up more goals tonight. The Flyers giving up the most goals per game this season. They're coming off their first regulation win of the year as well. As for Montreal, it is a busy week. They're at the start of playing 5 games in the next 8 days. The Canadiens and Flyers set to tangle next here on TSN.
Molson, whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it.
Your starting goaltenders for tonight. Yes, welcome home to Cayden Primo. Born in Michigan, but considers Philly home. Of course, Dad Keith, the former Flyers captain, spent a lot of time there. Cayden getting his 3rd start of the season. And yes, we already told you about Alexei Kolosov getting the nod for the Flyers, the rookie making his NHL debut tonight. So now you're all set for the Canadiens and the Flyers. We just need to drop that puck. It's off to Philly now. And here again, Victor and MJ.
Thank you much. Thank you very much, Laura. Always great to be in the state of Pennsylvania as the Montreal Canadiens pay their first visit to Philadelphia this season, and the Flyers off to a bit of a rough start, but Matvei Michkov has been a real highlight for them.
As advertised, they were excited about a dynamic offensive difference maker arriving from Russia, and he has been just that. And the best part for Philly is there is still a lot of room to grow. On the power play, he takes the puck and he takes control. At 5-on-5, he's still growing into it, but they think they found a line with Konecny and Couturier to play alongside Michkov.
4 goals, 5 assists for 9 points for Matvei Michkov to start his National Hockey League career with the Flyers. As we're ready for the opening face-off tonight from center ice, no lineup changes for Montreal as the face-off's done incorrectly the first time. Josh Anderson was a question mark tonight. He took the warm-up, and ultimately he will play after blocking a shot against St. Louis last night that knocked him out of the game.
You do not want to come out of a winning lineup. Keep the good vibes rolling for Montreal.
Flyers off the face-off. Will start us off out to center. Noah Cates limps the puck in. Owen Tippett's out there with Tyson Foerster as well. As Cates on the far side, pressured by Jake Evans, who got his first of the season last night against St. Louis on a 2-on-1. David Savard has Foerster pinned up along the boards. Taken away by Philly. Tippett squeezed off the puck. And Evans flings it to center ice. Bouncing puck for Anderson, chopped away by Jamie Drysdale. And Cayden Primo out of the net to play the puck.
It never gets old playing in your hometown or something you're very close to. This is a special start for Cayden Primo in Philly.
And technically his birthplace is Farmington Hills, Michigan, but he considers this to be his hometown start. Of course, his dad Keith played with the Philadelphia Flyers, and Primo spent a lot of time playing minor hockey in the Philly region. As here is Cole Caulfield passing off the dock at the side of the net. Kolosov came way out of the crease. No shot, though, for Montreal. Here come the Flyers. Back the other way. Matvei Michkov. Stripped of the puck by Mike Matheson off the far side. And then Caulfield starts ahead with the pass for Doc. Through the middle, taken away by Sean Couturier. Couturier just had a career-high 5-point night against Minnesota. As the Flyers in transition with Scott Laughton, he shanks it wide. Joel Armia falls down far side. Flyers take it back. Here's a shot incoming from Joel Farabee that's redirected wide. Ryan Poehling on the near side with Farabee. Matheson all over him as he goes back to the line. Emil Andre draws into the lineup for his first game of the season this year in the NHL as he throws a hit. Here goes Kapanen trying to go up high on Kolosov, who shrugs that away for his first save in the National Hockey League.
His first one right off his mask. Got him into the game.
This is poked out at the blue line. Out of play.
Couple dashes off the rush for the Montreal Canadiens in the first couple minutes of the game. And Kolosov making his first start. Stares down this turnover, and Kirby Dach, good handle on his skate to try to kick it back to Suzuki. Just can't quite connect with his centerman, but good play. And then after that, it was Kapanen down the wing trying Kolosov. And listen, you got a goalie making his first start. It's got to be a shoot first mentality. Do not overpass. Let's see what the nerves are like for the young tender.
This is a bit of a historic night for the Flyers, with Kolosov becoming the first ever Belarusian-born goaltender to play in the National Hockey League. Here comes Delorier. He's in offside. His key parts of the game are presented by Napa Auto Parts.
All right, we talked about this a lot for the Montreal Canadiens. The key for them is being clean in the defensive zone. They have to make good reads, good communication, good exits. If they do that, they have a chance. For Philly, protect the slot. They don't give up a lot of volume, but they give up a lot of quality. They have to be tighter around the front of their own net.
Here's Nico Delorier, bumped by Pezzetta. Loose at center ice. It's settled down by Logan Mailloux. It's chopped at by Drysdale, picked up by Christian Dvorak deep in the Flyer zone. Around to the near side. Tries to get away from Morgan Frost. Pushed around by Heidemann. Behind the net, Pezzetta wrapped up by Drysdale. There's Savard in from the line. Keeps it moving around for Lane Hutson. Darts away off the boards. Passing over to Savard. Back through the slot. Taken by Hutson. Right past Nico Delorier. Here goes Hutson, and he hits the goal post. Off the wing. Searching for his first in the NHL. And back to the line. He'll pass off to Heidemann. Now here's Savard. He'll move it around. Boy, Hutson's had some close calls. His first 10 NHL games. This is 11th tonight.
He's dancing.
Tries it again. Wrister off the wing. And this time Kolosov hangs on for the whistle.
There is Lane Hutson at his very best. He's already one of the best defensemen in the entire NHL at buying himself time and space. That's Sean Couturier. Selke caliber defenseman. He just walks right by, takes the puck to open ice. Underrated wrist shot, beats Kolosov, but not the post. And he'll get his first soon enough. He keeps making plays like that. But word spreading around the league that you can't run at Hutson. If you do, he'll go right by you. He's just got that shiftiness to him. Very nice play.
This Jackeye off the face-off. Back it again tonight. After he played 20 minutes against the St. Louis Blues a night ago after being a scratch for 2 in a row.
If you're going to criticize or call someone out, be hard on them, then reward them when they're playing well. And Marty did that last game.
There's Anderson almost offside. He didn't touch it. But he's called for offside.
And we'll highlight a couple of the highest profile rookies in the NHL this year. Lane Hutson, first amongst defensemen in scoring with his 5 points. Michkov tied with Stankoven for scoring amongst all players as rookies. And it would not surprise me if these two at the end of the year are certainly on the all-rookie team, if not finalists for the Calder Trophy. And what's interesting about both of them is they're in good situations in that they're being allowed to play a lot of minutes and play through their mistakes. Neither one of the players is perfect. Neither one is going to be defensively rock solid just yet, but they're on teams playing for coaches that understand that and let them play through it.
See if Macklin Celebrini has anything to say about that race by the end of the year.
He's got to play.
He does. He's hurt right now. Just the one game and one goal for San Jose.
San Jose is terrible again this year.
Not a great start for them. As here's Mitch Carr with his shot. And Kaden Primo shuts that one down for his first save of the night. Back the other way. Andre into the corner with Josh Anderson. Jake Evans digging for it as well. Emil Andre, the youngster, playing with a veteran. Johnson tonight on the Flyer blue line. Eric Johnson approaching the 1,000 game milestone. Not far from it.
EJ, the big Condor, still got it going. Valued veteran for John Tortorella on the back end.
Out to center, they'll shoot it in. Comes around for Tippett. Move toward the point. Sanheim out to center. They'll skate it right through, passing off, far side. Forrester to the front of the net. That's tipped by Tippett, just wide. Suzuki back to center for Caulfield. Over to Kirby Dach, dancing in, tries the shot, loose at the side of the net, poked wide. And Philadelphia returned to center with Forrester.
You can feel the confidence oozing off of Dach. It's amazing what a goal, a point, a couple good touches can do for a player. 3 games ago, he doesn't make that play off the rush.
On his first of the year last night against St. Louis, his first goal in an NHL regular season game since March 23rd of 2023 against the Boston Bruins.
In a minute, year and a half.
Only 11 games.
Right.
But about 500 days. Here come the Flyers. Ryan Poehling tried to cut up the middle. That's shut down by Jaden Struble. Lawton to the point. One-time shot from Sealer, deflection to the far corner. Picked up by Joel Armia. Got his first of the year last night. On an empty netter against the Blues. Scored a career-high 17 last year, and that last goal came against the Flyers. As this puck goes to the line, Savard moves it over to Hudson. Bouncing around in front. Settled down, Flyers skate to center. Here goes Joel Farabee off to Morgan Frost. Trying to go back across. Hunt's tied up. And the Flyers get it to the blue line. Here's Emil Andre. Skating across, off the boards, Lawton. Keeps it moving around. David Savard under pressure. Morgan Frost is on him as Lane Hudson passes back off to Savard. Hudson will flip this to center. Newhook lays it back. Savard off the boards. Down the right side. Here goes Emil Heineman. Long range shot. And Andre got a stick on that as Kolosov's going to reel this in and cover up for the faceoff. No goals early on. Shots 3-1 in favor of the Montreal Canadiens. Trying to put some pressure on Alexei Kolosov at his first NHL start.
Still scoreless early here in Philadelphia, but a couple good chances in both ends. And Kirby Dach just seeing it cleaner, moving faster, in, out, wrister, gets it through Kolosov and out the back door, but you love to see it from Kirby Dach. And okay, this is defensive zone coverage. Who's going to cover the man right down the slot? Montreal's got to be tighter. Gallagher and Matheson closing off on a dangerous Michkov. That's not a chance you want to give up, especially off the static, stationary face-off loss. not quite good enough for Montreal.
It's the only shot of the game so far for the Flyers, and strong start for Caden Primo, who's got great numbers against Philly. A 2-1-1 record, but a 169 goals against average and a 948 save percentage. Although he doesn't have a win in this building, and it would mean a lot for him to get one. As Arber Xhekaj knocks it down in his own zone, gives it away. Back behind the Montreal net, Matheson picks it up. Suzuki off the Xhekaj. Left side lost the handle on it. Couturier sends it right over to Nick Suzuki. And on the right side, Suzuki pushes it in. Couturier off the boards over to Rasmus Ristolainen. Flyers to center.
Look out.
And Kirby Dach takes some contact there from Couturier. That could have been a lot worse, though.
You start toe dragging behind your back. Xhekaj's talking to Couturier.
Yeah, Xhekaj's.
He's going to do it?
Oh, boy. And now Nick Seeler jumps right in.
That's good on Seeler.
And Xhekaj goes down before any punches are thrown.
Sealer's not going to let Couturier fight Xhekaj. Xhekaj going to talk to Couturier about that hit on Dach. Fair enough. Xhekaj being respectful, not jumping him, but certainly challenging him. I'm stunned. Sean Couturier elected to drop the gloves. That is toughness and maybe a little excessive for Sean Couturier to bite off that altercation. But then Nick Seeler says, you know what? Once it didn't start right away, I'm going to jump down there and get into it so Couturier doesn't have to. Now sorting this out, Xhekaj will get a rough. He'll deserve a rough. Couturier dropped his glove. He will deserve a rough. I would assume Nick Seeler with the gloves off coming in third guy into the pile will get. Now you can't do this in neutral zone and not expect to get hit. And Kirby Dach's almost fortunate that wasn't worse. Now a different player probably goes right through the center of Kirby Dach and hammers him, a la Jacob Trouba on Justin Barron. That hit was close to being a dirty one because he didn't get a lot of body. He got a little bit of the head there.
Oh, we saw Ridley Gregg get a good run at Kirby Dach in the preseason.
You gotta pay attention. I mean, that is a very casual toe drag, and then you see the altercation. Sean Couturier begrudgingly, I don't want to do this, but I feel like I have to do this.
And then Seeler off the top rope.
It's got to be. Couturier's got to get a penalty, no?
Montreal 72's got a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Okay. And
the Flyers box will stay shut.
You've got to be kidding me. What? Xhekaj just wanted. You could talk to people on the ice. I'm with Marty here. Xhekaj didn't drop his gloves until Couturier dropped his gloves. Seeler had his gloves off and grabbed Xhekaj. And I'm sorry, this is Arber Xhekaj. He went about that responsibly to answer for the hit, but not put his team in trouble. And he's getting. So here's Xhekaj, drops his stick. Okay, nobody's doing anything. They're holding each other. Nobody's doing anything. Couturier drops his gloves first. What are we talking about here, Vic? Help me.
I wish I could,
ends up on his back with two Flyers without their gloves on top of him, and he picks up the only penalty? I guess one of the best penalty kills in the league will go to work, but that is perplexing.
Yes, in brighter news, the half penalty kill has been great.
I'm sorry. I mean, listen, I don't like to complain about the refs, but that one I have a hard time understanding.
So the first penalty of the game, Xhekaj sit in the box for 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike.
That is Carter Sandlak, Ghislain Hebert are the two officials of tonight's game, if anyone was wondering.
Flyers to center. Here goes Travis Konecny. Dropping off. Tippett near side. Down low. Konecny. Teamed up on. And the Flyers shovel the puck back toward the line. Here's Jamie Drysdale. Passes off far side. Matvei Michkov. Passes off again. Morgan Frost. Back over to Drysdale. Left side Tippett. Frost and Tippett go back and forth. There's Matheson applying pressure. Back to the blue line. Drysdale wrister. That's stopped by Primo, and the rebound corralled by Matheson. Out of the corner. Chance to clear for Evans, and he'll do so.
There are some heated players out there on the ice right now. Cover your ears.
Saw Matheson get an instigator too on Tuesday. You might remember against the Rangers.
Yeah.
Starting that fight that he may not have started, depending on how you look at it, against Jacob Trouba after that hit on Barron. As Philadelphia to center, drop it back. Here goes Tyson Foerster. Skates it up the middle, dishes off to Farabee. In the final 30 seconds of the Philly power play. No battle for it in the near corner. Struble and Hudson digging for it, comes out to Dvorak, and he'll sling that down the ice.
That's excellent. Hudson, Struble in the corner. 2-on-3, win the battle, get it to your forward, get it clear. Peel off first to the rest of the penalty.
Now Foerster dishes off far side for Couturier, off the boards, into the slot, but the pass errantly goes to the near side. And Jack-Eye's out of the box.
Send him for a breakaway.
Send him for a breakaway. Here we go, Jack-Eye far side with the old Armia. Jack-Eye across for Armia. That's tipped wide into the corner. So the Flyers roll for one. They get one shot on their first 5-on-4 of the night. As Philadelphia back through center with Joel Farabee, sidesteps Gallagher to the net, and Caden Primo shuts it over the pads as Montreal will come back up the right side. Paling to the neutral zone, skates it on Jack-Eye, tries to pass off, good stick from Oliver Kapanen, breaks that up. Cates off the wing. Back out in front for Garnet Hathaway. Hathaway passes off. Sanheim shot ricochets off of Gallagher back to center. There are some combustible elements in this contest tonight with Nico Deslauriers and Garnet Hathaway both in the lineup for the Flyers. Jack-Eye and Pezzetta dressing for the Habs.
If the moment requires it, they'll be there to answer.
Logan Mailloux plays this down the right side. It's chipped in by Nick Suzuki. Far side, Kirby Dach. Skates off the boards, passes over to Jayden Struble. Back into the slot for Suzuki. One-timer stop by Kolosov. Now Caulfield dishing off to Struble. Tries a wrister. Loose in front. Scores! Nick Suzuki. Right on the doorstep. Cleans up the rebound in front. And Montreal score first to take a 1-0 lead.
You could see this one developing. Nick Suzuki continues his hot run. Now a 7-game point streak for the captain as he tucks one over a sprawled out Kolosov, but winning a battle here as Caulfield supports Dach and then get back down to the front of the net first. That's Kirby Dach, who beats Deslauriers to the front of the net, helped outnumber the Flyers. Struble wrists one down, tipped by Suzuki, touched by Dach, a lot like Dach's goal, which was rebounded over towards him. Same thing, return the favor to Suzuki, who puts it up and over, and the first line, the newly constituted first line after Slafkovsky's injury, strikes again.
That's 10 points now in the month of October for Nick Suzuki. That equals his best output in the month of October. He had a 10-point month back in 2022 to start the year in October, and he's got 10 points this month.
Steady Eddie.
It is spooky Suzuki season after all.
Plays every game and plays them all well.
Montreal goal scorer number 14, Nick Suzuki.
Flyers to center. Here goes Sean Couturier. And the pass off to Travis Konecny. Heineman to center for Pezzetta. Off the boards, taken away by Konecny. And fling that to center. It's settled by Dvorak. Passing off. Here's Heineman with his shot. That's stopped by Kolosov.
I'm Heineman. I am shooting it any time I can. He's got such an explosive release.
Here's Erik Johnson under pressure. Heineman all over him on the forecheck. Puck comes up for Sanheim. Far side. Hudson fans with his shot. Here are the Flyers. Back the other way. Shot. That one carries wide. Matvei Michkov threatening for Philly.
Hudson's got to be hard on that puck. You know you're the last man back in the blue line.
Gallagher off on the wing. Wherever check that. Jake Evans. He'll throw that around. Josh Anderson back to the point. Lane Hudson. Cross for David Savard. There's Evans. His shot. And stopped by Ryan Paling. Stung him a little bit as Anderson sends it wide of the net. Gallagher, far wing, back to the point. Lane Hudson saucers off to Savard down the right side.
That's his move. Power pull to the backhand. David Savard special.
Here comes Paling ahead to center. With speed, passing off to Lawton. Cross ice, that's intercepted. Joel Armia carries to the neutral zone. In on Rasmus Ristolainen. And the big Finnish defenseman wraps him up and forces the play out to center. Logan Mailloux shoots it in. Around it goes. Another hit from Ristolainen. Coming off a significant upper body injury last year. Ruptured tendon in his tricep. Just got his first goal of the season against Minnesota in that 7-5 win. As here comes Oliver Kapanen on the left side. Flyers pick it up, carry it right back up the center. Andre pushing off left side for Owen Tippett. Hits the brakes, takes the shot, and that one goes just wide of the net. Now Andre tips it into the far side corner. Back toward the line. Eric Johnson sends it well wide. Jackeye turns around. Now Logan Mailloux settles it down behind the Montreal net. Pass to center, finds Nick Suzuki. Skates it over the line, hands off. Kirby Dach coming in. Down low for Suzuki. Kick save for Kolosov.
A feed that was from Dach.
Looks like some chemistry to me. As here's Caulfield with a shot. That's blocked by Sealer. Backhand try doesn't get through either. And now Dach from high in the zone plays it around the boards. Suzuki behind the net, off to Caulfield. Back to the line, Struble, wrist shot, traffic in front. And Kolosov having to deal with his own defenseman, able to fight off Jamie Drysdale as he makes the save for Philadelphia. Nick Suzuki's got our icebreaker tonight in Pennsylvania. It's a 1-0 lead for the Montreal Canadiens.
Habs up 1-0 here in Philly as Nick Suzuki opened the scoring to continue his now 7-game point streak. What a hot first month this has been. 10 points in the month of October. And that play has driven the first line 5-on-5 goals. And of course the top line's gonna have more than the fourth line. But 8 for the top line's okay. But I think what you see, even with the production from last game, second, third, fourth line have to find ways to be a little bit more effective offensively at 5-on-5. Not score every game, but you have to score every other game if you're the second and third line. Now, Kirby Dach used to be on the second or third line. Wasn't driving offense, but I bet when he goes back there in the middle, when Slafkovsky comes back, if he goes back to the middle, he'll be better now because you can see his game is starting to come together.
Martin St. Louis might have some interesting decisions to make here in this coming week.
I mean, Dach thrived with Caulfield Suzuki previously when he first came over, but Kirby Dach's in Montreal to be a centerman. And they know they need a second-line center, and Kirby Dach is supposed to be that guy, so I would assume he'd go back to that spot and try to play there as John Tortorella also looking for line combinations that work. over 20 different forward line combinations for the Philadelphia Flyers. We're 8 games into the season. Every game, 2 or 3 new combinations for Torts as he's trying to find some chemistry on his lines as well.
Like using a Rubik's Cube to decide your lineup every night.
Even Torts is like, I'm not a mad scientist just fooling around. I'm trying to find things that work. And this hasn't stuck yet.
We'll see how soon Juraj Slafkovsky returns to action for the Habs. This goes for icing. He was out a week, and it'll be a week tomorrow, and then reevaluated. Saw him on the ice
Back
the other
on
day,
the
morning
ice.
skate.
Morning skate, non-contact jersey. Caden Gooley, back on the ice, non-contact jersey. So that's usually a precursor to being a few days from a few days. So sometime in the next week, he should be back, you would assume.
Justin Barron has also been skating.
That one's a little bit more of a wild card. You're not quite sure how that one.
There's Matheson passing off far side, off the boards, taken by Struble, sends it to the net.
Put pucks on the net. Kolosov leaves juicy rebounds around the front of the net.
Puck out to center for Sean Couturier. Finds Matvei Michkov. Doc wraps him up and erases him along the boards. Puck is taken by Mike Matheson. He'll sky this through center into the Flyer zone. Kolosov watches it go by. And Rasmus Ristolainen starts up the far side to center. Now David Savard back off the boards for Doc. Held up by Sean Couturier. Loose puck right side. Heineman can't touch it. Delayed offside. So Travis Sanheim will slow it down. There's Tyson Forrester. Knocks down Heineman. Heineman fishes the puck away, but it's taken back by the Flyers. Drysdale over to Sealer. Near side, tipped in by Tyson Forrester. And Heineman into the corner. Comes over to Dvorak. He'll slip that around for Lane Hudson. Bounced off the boards to David Savard. Stretching down the ice. He wanted Dvorak. It's cut off, though, by Nick Sealer. And on the left side, floats one wide of the net. Noah Cates. Has his glove down by Hudson. Long pass. There it is. Here's Dvorak off the outside of the net.
What a feed. What a feed.
From deep in the pocket.
That was a go route. I don't know if it would have been onside, but it's fun to watch.
Logan Mailloux starts ahead. Left side, Jack-Eye. Flips it in. Evans picks it up out of the corner. Now Morgan Frost trying to get away from Josh Anderson. He'll play it ahead to center for Hathaway. Taken away by Montreal. Batted out of the air by Brendan Gallagher. Here goes Garnet Hathaway now. Far side, try to go back in front of the net. That's blocked by Arbor Jack-Eye. Gallagher right side. Crosses in over the Philadelphia line. Swept around the boards by Eric Johnson. Flyers to center. Here goes Emil Andre. That's taken away, though, by Logan Mailloux. Set to center. Sanheim reloads. In on the left side. Good stick from Logan Mailloux. Bailing into the corner. Back to Sanheim. Walks across and he scores! Travis Sanheim from the blue line. That one goes through clean, and the Flyers have tied the game at 1.
Sanheim, who hit double digits in goals last year, rifles a wrister from the point as he just takes it, walks it, and a bit of confusion. You see Gallagher and Anderson not quite on the same page who's going to close in on Sanheim, but I think it might hit Jake Evans' leg as he's trying to make a kick save, and the reaction tells you it hits his thigh, changes direction, and gets past Caden Primo. No chance whatsoever for Caden Primo. And you appreciate the effort to block a shot, but if you're going to get in front of it at that point, like, you got to block it, or you're almost better off getting out of the way.
Second of the year for Sanheim. Here comes Oliver Kapanen with a shot up high on Kolosov. That's 2. He's rung the bell.
Right in the mind.
Well, we know where he's shooting. As the Flyers come back in far side, Paling. Farabee tries to pick it up. He's wrapped up by Oliver Kapanen along the end boards. Flyers move it around behind the net. Here's Farabee. Kapanen takes him down. He's going to get called for that.
Deal. Hold for Kapanen. And the Habs will be
Montreal, minor
down a man
penalty.
when we return.
Holding.
Here from Philadelphia. Philadelphia going to the power play after they just tied up the game 1-1. Oliver Kapanen picks up a holding penalty in behind the net, and Phil Farabee, quick stop up, and you see the open hand of Kapanen reach into the hip and drag Farabee down. Now, in years past, taking a penalty against Philly would not be that big of an issue. 3 years running, 32nd, not good. Montreal not much better either, but this year, both these teams running around 25%, both of them in the top 10 in the league, so maybe trying to buck the trend of the last 3 years that they've been two of the less effective power plays in the league.
Phillies 8 for 31 this year, 25.8%. They're already 0 for 1 though tonight as they'll set this up off the far side. Matvei Michkov sends it out in front. That deflects off of David Savard. And Jake Evans will have a chance to skate it out to center. Down the far side, slowing it down. Michkov pokes that away. Owen Tippett out to center, drops it back for Matvei Michkov. Now Jamie Drysdale turns around. And the young Flyer defenseman carries it into the Montreal zone. They'll play it around the net. Dvorak. Here's Anderson. Would have had a breakaway from center, but he couldn't settle the puck. With the first to it anyway.
He's so open. He just dropped like a shortstop. Like, just stop it and get back up. He didn't have to pick it up on the fly.
Up behind the Flyers secondary. As
Just need a touch. Get your skates in front of it. Just stop it.
Philly back to center. Frost handing off. Michkov cross ice. Forster slows it down to the corner. Hudson's on him. Back to the line. Drysdale over to Matvei Michkov. Left side. Wrist shot. Stopped by Primo. Rebound into the slot. Drysdale off the Michkov down low. Behind the net. Off to Forster. Back in front. Pad save Primo. And he'll cover it up with a scrum in front.
Good, strong save by Caden Primo there as Forster ripped the puck down to the front of the net, and it was a shot pass to Travis Konechny. Got a piece of Konechny's stick right on the edge of the pad of Primo, but Primo able to hold strong and deny. It's probably Philly's best offensive player, Travis Konechny. He's been turned into a really nice player the last few years. As Marty's trying to get his team out of the first period tied at 1. It's been a pretty good first period for the Habs back-to-back.
Flyers win the draw. Back to Emile Andre. Left side, Couturier tries a wrister. That one's picked out by the glove of Primo, and he'll hang on for the whistle.
A right underneath David Savard. It was right in front of Caden Primo, down to block it, and Primo, they're having a conversation about it right now, was able to scoop puck after it got through the attempted shot block. Different dynamic for Primo this year as the number 2. Goalie drama around.
There's Andre at the line. Left side, another shot for Couturier. That ricochets high and out of play. It wasn't a matter of making the team this year for Primo.
And also not going to wait weeks between starts. He's going to start every 3rd or 4th game. It's a duo at Devontevo. They can grow into a partnership that support each other and push each other and try to become the best duo they can be. I mean, Primo's shown it everywhere in his life but the NHL. He's been exceptional everywhere.
Former Mike Richter Award winner for top goaltender in the NCAA with Northeastern. As Philadelphia in their own zone. Hard pressed to get something else here before the period ends. As the pass misses Farabee, hammered back down the ice. He's going to be 1 second on the penalty to Kapanen, carrying over into the second. Oh, Montreal break this one open with Nick Suzuki, and then Travis Sanheim back the other way equalizes it at 1 through 20. As we've got the first intermission show coming up with Laura Dykin, Martin Biron, and Danny Briere joins me as well, GM of the Flyers, in the broadcast booth.
TSN will be back that night, and our coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 8 Atlantic on TSN in the Habs region. And I said a busy time here as 5 games coming in 8 nights for your Montreal Canadiens, all tied up 1-1 thanks to that late goal by the Flyers with 2.5 minutes to go in the period. Marty and Laura back here with you once again. So it was the Montreal Canadiens starting the scoring here, and the captain doing the honors, Kirby Dach getting an assist, and we've kind of seen a little bit of a jolt from him, right? He gets his first goal yesterday in over 18 months and kind of keeping that going here, but it was an interesting first period for him. Why?
Absolutely, because he got hit. He got hit hard by Sean Couturier with his head down. It could have been a lot worse for Kirby Dach after that hit, and we all know that Arbor Xhekaj got a penalty for doing nothing and whatever. It is what it is. The Canadiens killed it, but that's the hit here. Couturier comes in, grabs the right shoulder, right? Could have been a lot worse. But how do you tell everybody and you show everybody, I'm good. I didn't get hit in the face. I'm not concussed. I'm good. You go and win puck battles. Kirby Dach wins a puck battle in the corner. Then he goes again first against Nick Deslauriers. Deslauriers is a tough customer. Takes a hit to make the play. And then after the rebound, look at who's in front. It's Kirby Dach again. So that's how you show that, you know what, you don't have any worries about getting hit. You're going to go win some puck battles. And I do believe that playing on a line with Suzuki and Caulfield has re-energized Kirby Dach. It was hard, by himself really on the second line. Now he's got really 2 quality players, and we've seen that in the last 2 games with a little bit more energy in his game.
When that line reunited, he said, we'd like to pick up right where we left off. And yes, definitely Suzuki and Dach have gotten a little bit of a jolt since being reunited. We were talking about all the positives to take out of yesterday's game. They got off to a good start, jumped out to that 2-0 lead. We saw a trio of players pick up their first goals of the season, but it was the play of the defense that really stood out. The 3rd time this year that they've allowed 2 or fewer goals. Kind of taking a little bit of a step back at moments here, and especially what did you notice on that 1-1 tying goal?
When we think about the defensive zone coverage for the Montreal Canadiens, a lot of it is man-to-man, and you have to have a lot of communication. Everybody's got to do their job good. Defensive zone coverage, when you play a strict zone, is a lot easier. But you see here, as the Flyers enter the zone, you got Gallagher on the right side of your screen is going to enter the screen, and he's going to point. Who's down low? Who's up? You got 3 forwards up high. Nobody's playing right wing, so you get a shot. It goes off Evans and in. But this is where everybody should have a job. You got forwards running into one another. That was Anderson and Evans. Gallagher is pointing at somebody's got to get down low. Somebody's got to play right wing. Wait, what about that guy that's curling up? Like, the man-to-man is very hard to commit to in the defensive zone. And there's a hybrid style that Marty St. Louis wants to play, but it feels like the Canadiens are not getting it done right now. Sometimes they are pretty good, but often they're doing exactly that. They're chasing, and they don't know where to go.
And there was a tough deflection going off of Jake Evans' leg, and Caden Primo's just kind of handcuffed there in net. So that's how the cookie crumbles, and that is how it got to be 1-1 through 20 minutes. And when our intermission continues, we will head back to Philly. We'll hear from that man, Daniel Briere, the Flyers GM, joining Victor in the booth next. We've got it for you here on TSN. 8:15 Eastern, 9:15 Atlantic is when the festivities kick off in Pittsburgh. Well, Danny Briere in the second full season as general manager of the Flyers as the rebuild continues. Something Briere says he embraces. He loves the challenge of building a team, looking to reclaim the glory days when Briere was a Flyer and not calling the shots from the front office. And you can see they are piling up the talent with more. Let's head back to Philly. And here again is Victor.
Pleasure to have a general manager step into the broadcast booth with us, and we welcome Danny Briere to the broadcast tonight. Danny, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start with Sean Couturier, who, of course, crossed a significant milestone, 500 points in the National Hockey League with a career-high performance of 5 points.
Yep.
As someone who's now his GM but was also his teammate and roommate at one point, how much did it mean to you, considering everything he's been through in recent years, to see him get that milestone?
It was great to see. Obviously, it's been a tough go. The last part of the season, last year, and then now this season, the way it started, the pressure was building. I could see it in his demeanor, but he's a total pro. Didn't let it affect him. Obviously, I know inside it was. It was good to see him have the big night that he did, and hopefully he can build confidence because we're going to need him. He plays in so many different facets for us. He's great taking face-offs. He's good on the penalty kill. We have him on the power play. He faces most of the top players on the other side on a nightly basis. So he's a big part of our team. So to see him build some confidence is good for us.
I know I'm sure another guy you hope one day reaches the 500-point milestone with this organization is Matvei Michkov, who's off to a flying start here in Philadelphia. And I think there's a lot of Habs fans back at home that are hoping whenever Ivan Demidov comes over that he'll have a similar start for them. So given the circumstances surrounding Michkov and how he came over here, what were some of the things you did as an organization to make sure he was comfortable that's allowed him to thrive here early on?
Yeah, well, we helped him out with his mother is here and his brother. A little sense of family around him. He's getting better with the language. We had a tutor, but we also had a few players as well helping him out. We're very attentive to the stuff that he needs. He's a teenager. He's only 19 years old. So, but so far it's been fun. The kid is a competitor. Wants to be on the ice every day. Wants to compete. That's probably the part that surprised us the most about him. We knew he could put up points. He's an electrifying player, but his competitiveness is contagious. And hopefully more players follow suit. It's been a blast having him around.
Now, of course, you've got a young team here that's building towards something a lot like Montreal is in some ways. And John Tortorella is your head coach. When you work with a team like this, what's an important quality that a coach needs to have that John Tortorella does to help this group continue to grow?
You're going to laugh, but the patience to let the young guys try to make some plays. We have the impression from the outside that Torts is extremely tough, and he is, but he doesn't give them any leeway, and it's the total opposite. He wants his guys to take chances and try to make plays, which will probably surprise a lot of people, but he's been awesome. That was one of the probably best part for me, having the chance to have Michkov over right away. To have him as a teenager, to be able to mold him in what we want to do, in the culture that we want to bring here in Philly under John Tortorella and his coaching staff, I thought was a great plus for us. We feel very fortunate to have him as at an early age.
On the topic of goaltending, we get to see Alexei Kolosov become the first Belarusian-born goaltender to play in the National Hockey League tonight. So apart from that, for fans at home that might not know a whole lot about him, tell us kind of the backstory about how he wound up here in Philly.
Yeah, well, Alexei was drafted a few years ago. It's been tough getting him over here. Obviously, you never know. They wanted to keep him playing in Minsk. And for us, we felt it was time. We wanted to see what he was like. There's all options are on the table, but the kid is talented. A very athletic goaltender. Now, we don't know how his game translates to the NHL, and we're excited to watch him play tonight. And, there's no, anything set in stone moving forward. Erson has done a pretty good job. He had a rough afternoon yesterday, but he found a way to win. There's nothing set in stone as far as our goaltending goes.
Well, Danny, always appreciate your time. Thanks for dropping by tonight.
Thanks for having me.
The second period is just around the corner. We've got some highlights from around the NHL coming up next as we check in on the Oilers who are in Detroit tonight. Going on right now. Let's start in Detroit with the Oilers and the Red Wings midway through the second. It's a tie game, but not for long. Jeff Petrie from the point. That deflects in. Petrie given credit for his first of the season. 2-1. Still your score, but we're now in the third period. How about the Ducks and the Devils early in the first, awaiting our first goal of this game. And it's Troy Terry dropping it for Brock McGinn.
That's not a good one. Gotta make a save here. The Devils have given up 23 goals in their last 4 games. Markstrom and Allen have to be better.
Ooh. Well, it's 1-0 after 1 there between the Ducks and the Devils. Meanwhile, in Philly, we're all tied up at a goal apiece. Nick Suzuki extending his point streak to 7 games, while Travis Sanheim, the defenseman, getting his second of the campaign. Let's get you back to Victor and MJ and this second period.
Well, Montreal will take a 1-1 tie here going to the second period. And Kirby Dach tacks on another point, taking him a little bit of time here to get back into game shape, but he's been rounding into form over about the last 4 periods or so.
It's a lot to go into coming back from his kind of injury. There's the physical, the knee's health, but also your own physical fitness. But there's almost more the mental and the emotional of getting back in it, getting the feel for the game. And he struggled, frankly, the first few games of the regular season. He wasn't as good as he needs to be, as he wants to be, as he can be. But maybe moving to the wing, alleviating some of the pressure to drive his own line, and then getting some positive results with good players has helped him free himself up a little bit. And I thought he was fantastic in the first period. Got an assist on the goal. He set up Suzuki for another nice opportunity. He was around a lot of stuff. And when you're around the puck, then good things are happening if you're a talented player. He's a very talented player. So that was a good period, another good period for Kirby Dach.
Martin St. Louis has been talking about getting more touches for Kirby Dach.
Yeah.
That's why he's been playing him up in the lineup on the top power play. And he said a lot of the same about Juraj Slafkovsky last year when he was off to a slow start. It was all about touches, and it took a little while, but ultimately it paid off for Slafkovsky.
But there's only one extra winger spot to go along with Caulfield and Suzuki. So if both Dach and Slafkovsky want it, Marty St. Louis will have to work that one out as the head coach. Look at the 2 rookies having a little chat. Michkov and Hudson had the hook opening face-off. That's good stuff. He's in.
Right off the hop, here is Oliver Kapanen trying to go across for Nick Suzuki. Passes back to Dach. He'll send one wide of the net. So the Philadelphia power play expires right at the start of the period. They're now officially 0 for 2 with 4 shots.
Look out. Dangerous.
There's Dach in the slot. Down low. Centering feed intended for Caulfield. Doesn't get through. Flyers to center. Konechny off the Matvei Michkov right wing. Michkov into the slot. Taken away by Caulfield. Thrown out to center as Rasmus Ristolainen gathers it in. Late for TPS Turku back in Finland. That's the same program that Juraj Slafkovsky came out of. As Philadelphia on the attack. Couturier's shot redirects off the leg. Out to center. Here goes Nick Suzuki. 2-0 with Caulfield. Shot off the goal post. Caulfield was looking for his 8th of the year. And he's denied by the iron this time as Michkov back the other way. Drysdale off the wing. That's lifted wide off the glass and hits the protective netting out of play.
Oh, what a chance for the duo going in 2-0 as Nick Suzuki generates the chance with a chip past his defender, who steps off the bench. Drysdale's in a tough spot. He goes forward. He probably should have gone back. But challenge here is Caulfield has to pivot because he wants it on his forehand. But on the back check, Konechny's got a stick out in front, so it's a tough one for Suzuki to put in the right spot. So he puts it on the front foot to get it away from Caulfield for Konechny, but then it's harder to get accurate on the release, and Caulfield did well to get on the post, but not posted in. Look out.
That goes right into the Flyer bench over top of John Tortorella.
Gonna get a haircut there, but like that, I mean, I guess it shows how good of a shooter Cole Caulfield is, because most guys would have heeled that puck into the corner because it was in such a awkward front foot position. But when you're as good as he is and as hot as he is, anytime we're referencing my old man Brian Savage and his performance early in the year, you know you're doing something right. 7 goals in 8 games. One of the best goal scorers in the league. And maybe if he's able to stay healthy, this will be the year he finally does break through that 40-goal plateau.
He enters play tonight just one back of the league lead. It's a tie between Kucherov and Hischier, who's off to a great start with New Jersey with 8 goals. Philly on the attack. Here's Tyson Forster, far side. Slammed into the boards by Struble. Puck pops out for Anderson. Here comes Gallagher to center. Kicks it in. And we've got a whistle on the play. Looks like offside.
I was thinking about this game for Montreal, and there was a lot of pressure, I think, last night against St. Louis because of the way they played and the results they were getting, and the players were feeling it. I think the coaches were feeling it sort of for the first time. But they play relatively well. They get that win. And now you think about Montreal, if they were able to win tonight against the last place team in the Metro, guess what? They're in a playoff spot right now. For however tumultuous the first month has been, and it has been not great for Montreal at times, the division has not gone away from anybody. Everyone is bunched together, and Montreal will be right in the middle of the bunch.
It's too early to do some standings watching.
There's something psychological, especially when you haven't been there in a while,
true.
To get yourself in.
Here is Farabee off the right side. Hash marks. Move to the inside. Sends that right in on Primo. That's off his leg. Far side, Emil Andre skips one wide. Eric Johnson sends it down low. Right side Paling. Passes off. Farabee in behind the Montreal net. He takes a good shove from Logan Mailloux. Armia behind his own net. Battles with Scott Lawton. Lawton angles him off into the boards. Habs chip it ahead to center. Oliver Kapanen. Right back the other way. It comes Philadelphia. Farabee, right side, shot right in on Primo. And he absorbs that. There's no rebound for the whistle.
Yeah, that's a play where Oliver Kapanen's got to recognize, my D-man, Arber Xhekaj, has got no stick. So let me get this puck in deep because he's got to get off the ice. He doesn't get into deep. Xhekaj goes for a change, and Marty St. Louis watches another break against his net. You have to recognize what's going on behind you or have it communicated to you to make sure you know. And a turnover at a wrong spot with a guy who needs a change. Now, there's one that Arber Xhekaj's got to be better. He can't let Joel Farabee just walk right under his stick and around him. More in control when approaching his checks and stronger on that initial contact to knock the guy off stride. That's Farabee's shifty, but he can't just walk you clean in your own end.
Kolesov plays this around to the far side into the corner. Heineman moves it around the boards for Lane Hutson, spinning away from Hathaway. Hudson, far side pass to Savard. That's blocked in front. Hudson, another try. That's blocked by Garnet Hathaway.
Nice.
And now Hudson, chased by Ristolainen. Sends that around the boards for Dvorak. Back to the line.
Here it is.
Savard off to Hudson. Big shot, and that's caught by Kolesov. And he'll get the stoppage.
Good seal by Ristolainen on Pezzetta. As that puck worked around to Hudson, he had all kinds of space, but it's hard to beat a goalie when they can look at it. Watch the seal, Ristolainen. That's how you dig in early, establish body position, and not let the forward get to where he wants to go, and then the goaltender can stare down a slapper, and you expect your goalie to save that shot on just about every single player in the NHL, including Lane Hudson.
7 assists through his first 10 games as a Hab. No Habs defenseman has done that before. Well, as a rookie.
Anytime you say no Hab has ever done that before, so it's pretty special.
It's a big history book we delve into here. Off the face-off, Flyers control. Here's Travis Konechny. A career-high 4 assists in that 7-5 win over the Minnesota Wild. In on the far side, Konechny has that swatted away by Mike Matheson. And the Flyers go back to center. It's Jamie Drysdale. Connects with Michkov. Knocked away by Mike Matheson. Drysdale recovers. Passes far side. Konechny shoots it in. Stopped behind the net by Primo. Around to the point. Here's Drysdale. Far side Konechny. Right back across the ice for Matvei Michkov. Skates into the corner. Good stick check from Kirby Dach. Michkov collects it behind the net. No thoughts of the Michigan there. Out in front. That's taken away by Struble. And Montreal will come to center ice.
Saw the spatula come up. He was thinking about it.
Might be better known as the Svechnikov for Matvei Michkov.
Although famously in his first inter-squad scrimmage with Torts watching from the stands, he tried it and pulled it off, and Torts just shook his head saying, okay, that's the kind of kid we're dealing with. Talent, Fearlessness.
Anderson off the boards to the line. Logan Mailloux shot, scores!
That clipped Gallagher on the way through?
Sharp deflection in front. Looks to be Gallagher. And Montreal recover the lead. They're up 2-1.
Listen, Brendan Gallagher goes there often enough. He deserves to get the odd good break, right? For all the abuse that he takes, all the cross checks and the slashes that he puts up with. If you're going to rip one off my ankle or shin pad, we'll take it as Josh Anderson gets it back in a spot where Mailloux could do something with it. Anderson puts it in a place where he can shoot it, and watch the left leg of Brendan Gallagher. Now, he'll tell you that that was an intentional soccer-like deflection. I'm telling you, he was striding out and hit it a shin pad if it went in.
16 goals a season ago for Gallagher. He had a couple against Boston in the second game of this year, and he's got his third of the season now.
Another goal for that line, though, right?
Yep.
Nick Evans had one yesterday. Gallagher gets one today. Like, this is what you need. And Anderson moving like he's healthy out there now.
Anderson far side into the slot. Gallagher back to the point for Arbor Jackeye. Tries a wrister. That deflects well wide. Evans off the boards. Gallagher sweeps it around. And he'll come over to Arbor Jackeye. This is cut off by Eric Johnson. And he'll launch it to the neutral zone. Right to Jackeye. We'll sweep that away. Evans up to center for Oliver Kapanen. So Logan Mailloux picks up the primary assist on that goal for Brendan Gallagher. And as Lane Hudson will collect at center ice. Flyers pick it up. Down the right side. Lawton plays it ahead. Savard back to get it. And to the neutral zone. Kolosov behind his own net. 6 minutes into the second. Plays this right around for Emil Heineman. Into the corner. Joel Armia. Under pressure for Morgan Frost. Take it away. Nico Deslauriers to center ice. Off to Drysdale. One more pass over to Hathaway. Shot from far off the right side is stopped for the whistle by Caden Primo. Brendan Gallagher, his third of the season. Tips one home off a shot from Logan Mailloux, and the Montreal Canadiens are back in front 2-1.
Some players, they have an eye on February. The Four Nations face-off, the first time in several years. Best on best will be out there once again. And for Travis Konecny, he's a guy who unquestionably is on the radar of Hockey Canada. I was reading the scouts list here in the building today in Philadelphia, and there is a scout position. It just says Hockey Canada. And the fact that Travis Konecny has grown so much in his game that he is absolutely not some dark horse periphery candidate. He is probably equal money to make it or not make it for Team Canada, depending how he plays in the next month. Be something that guys like him would be keenly aware of.
Might be some competition with him and Nick Suzuki
for a spot somewhere on
100%.
Canada roster.
100%. Those kind of guys, 11, 12, 13th forward, depending on what kind of team they want, positioning and everything else. But the players won't talk about it, that they're paying attention. But they're paying attention. They know. They know. They watch when we put out our mock teams. Are we on it? Am I not? Who might be in the position that I'm battling for? And Alexis Lafreniere would be a guy that Travis Konecny would be in. Jordan Kyrou would be a guy that Konecny would be battling. That's the kind of guys that he would be competing with. And he's got a great chance to represent Canada in the first big international event in a long time.
We saw Sam Montembeault square off against Gordon Binnington last night in Montreal, starting netminders, perhaps future teammates with the Canadian men's national team.
I think Sam's he's in the Final Four. They only take 3, and he's in the Final Four with probably Aiden Hill, Stu Skinner.
It's a sent through center ice into the Montreal zone. David Savard up for Heineman in front of the Philly bench. Sean Couturier tries to muscle that away. Matvei Michkov down the right side. Cross ice feed intercepted by Heineman. Konecny looks to pick it back up into the corner. Far side back out in front. That's off Aline Hudson. And Konecny off his backhand. Almost gave that away clean to Christian Dvorak.
And Hudson was cruising out the far blue line looking for a breakaway.
Now the old Army up the center. Christian Dvorak dropping back for Hudson, and we've got a whistle here for offside.
See Lane Hudson, he knows. The wry grin says, I was gone. And Heineman able to handle it clean. And eventful night tonight for Sean Couturier with the near fight, but a way more eventful game yesterday for a pair of Flyers. Travis Konecny and Sean Couturier matching 5-point nights against Minnesota, or afternoons, I guess. First time in several years since Scott Hartnell and Joffrey Lupul maybe did it.
It was Umberger in 07 for the Flyers. Put up a pair of 5-point games. Montreal back in their own zone. Puck comes to center, and it's lifted in by Sealer just wide of the net. Off the glass, not out. Here's Owen Tippett down low. Tried to ship that out in front. Kirby Dach through the neutral zone, past Caulfield, all the way back into the Flyers' end for an icing.
So they were put together on a line a couple games ago against Washington late with Michkov, trying to find some chemistry. Apparently they found it, because yesterday, hat trick on the empty net for the captain, Sean Couturier, 5 points, +5. That's a nice night. And Travis Konecny, first ever 4-assist game, 5 points, +4. 8th time in club history. I played in a game against the Flyers once where 2 guys had 5 points. It was Lindros and John LeClaire who had it.
Michael Renberg was somewhere in that equation too.
I think he had 4. I think they had 15 up for the line in a 6-3 win. Eric with 6, John with 5, and Michael with 4. The Legion of Doom when they were at their best.
Flyers over to the near side. This is picked up by Mike Matheson. He'll shoot it in, round the boards. Picked up by Emil Andre. Farabee over for Scott Laughton. Up to center. Here come the Flyers in transition. Farabee left side. Turning away from pressure. And Logan Mailloux is sent in behind the net. Now picked up by Arbor Jacki. Ahead for Evans. That pass missed.
Just pass it to the guy right in front of you. You don't have to make it any harder than it is.
Puck comes around to the near side. Gallagher off the boards, taken away by Michkov. Tried to force a backhand pass through to center. That's picked off. Skating in onside, Mailloux. Across for Gallagher. Down low behind the net. Anderson fumbled it. Ristolainen gave it away. Back to the point. Mailloux, backhander, tried to sift it through. Knocked down by Konecny. And he tried to stretch it down the ice for Michkov, but that's broken up. Habs are going to change here as Philly reset in their own zone. Andre snaps one ahead for Morgan Frost. Shifting through the middle of the ice. In behind the net, Hudson picks it up. Lots of space here on the breakout. Tries to go far side. The pass misses everybody. That's going to go for icing.
Venom, The Last Dance.
There's been a lull in the first 10 minutes of this second period. Montreal hasn't had the same kind of pace, even though they picked up the goal from Gallagher. This game is right there. You can feel it. It's right there for the taking, probably by either team. Just a little bit cleaner out of their own end will allow Montreal to play a lot on the offensive end tonight if they're able to just advance it.
Flyers win the ozone face-off. Here's Sanheim. Down low, his pass is smothered by David Savard somewhere underneath him. Back to the point. Sealer's shot. Lots of traffic in front. Frost picks it up, turns it around. Jamie Drysdale. Smooth skating defenseman takes a wrister off the wing. And Primo snatches that up for the stoppage. Over halfway through this contest now. The Montreal Canadiens up 2-1 on the Flyers in Philadelphia. We talked about it already tonight. It's a special night for Cayden Primo anytime he gets to start a game in Philadelphia. This is where he considers home, largely in part because this is where his dad played for 312 games with the Philadelphia Flyers, serving as their captain from 2001 to 06. And then his uncle, Derek Smith, also played with the Flyers, almost 500 games with Philly from 1984 to 1991. So some family connections here in the region and with the Flyers for Cayden Primo.
And here he is halfway through the game. Just one against on 14 shots. Team's ahead. He's in a good spot. And he has, I gotta think, the best numbers against Philly of any team he's played in his career.
Primo, by the way, has a massive hockey family. He's got two brothers as well that played high level. Of course, there's Keith Primo, his dad, but also Wayne Primo, his uncle, that played in the NHL, in addition to his other uncle, Derek Smith. This is tipped at the side of the net by Konechny just wide.
Prime Dog was one of my teammates in Tampa. Wayne.
Picked up down the far side. Here's Evans to the net. That's tipped just wide.
There's going to be a high
penalty.
stick.
And Josh Anderson looks like he took a stick up high. Checking for damage.
They're hoping for a cut somewhere, anywhere. Got something? Although, technically speaking, the rule is not 4 minutes if there's blood. 4 minutes.
Philadelphia number 9, minor penalty, high sticking.
If there's an injury, whatever that means, which we sort of associate if you're bleeding, then it's a 4 minute, but it could be anything. So Jamie Drysdale gets caught with the speed of Josh Anderson. He loses body position and forced a hook, and then eventually get his stick up into the face of Josh Anderson and draw the penalty.
After they're going to get their first power play of the night. Flyers right now, one-shot advantage.
Oh, right in his chest.
Caulfield with a big shot.
No.
Well, that's a tough block for Garnet Hathaway. Stays out there. Suzuki fires a shot wide. Goes right back to Hathaway.
Of course it does.
He's got to make a play on it now.
Like, please get me up. Oh, no.
Oh, and now it's kept in by
no.
Matheson. Far side, Suzuki. Back to Matheson up high. Caulfield to Matheson. Far side, Suzuki.
Nice.
Slot, there's Caulfield. He goes high.
That was nice. Doc slid in that little quick bump position. Draws the checkers and kicks it over to Caulfield for a one-timer. That was well done.
And mercifully, Garnet Hathaway gets off the ice.
Please, give the guy a break.
Here's Nick Suzuki through center. To the near side. Play is broken up by Rasmus Ristolainen. Matheson tries to keep it in. He's forced to center, and right back in comes Cole Caulfield. Dishing off to Nick Suzuki. Turns it round. Here's Matheson, pressured by Sanheim. Pass into the corner, finds Newhook. Lost the handle on it. Suzuki right back with it. Matheson sets up at the blue line. Tries a wrister. Kolosov fights that off. And Caulfield back at the corner, spinning away. Back to the line. Matheson fakes the slap shot, passing off to Doc. Matheson again up high. Over to Nick Suzuki. Tries the wrister. That's off traffic in front. Glove down now by Cole Caulfield. Wrister scores! Cole Caulfield on the power play. Off the wing. Puts it right through Kolosov. And Montreal are up 3-1.
The hot stick continues. Cole Caulfield snipes another one that is probably not from the slot area, but I love how Montreal now knows whether it's a set play or a broken play, you sling it over there and good things will happen. And Caulfield just settles, knocked it down, and that's not a great goal from Kolosov as he gets it between the body and the post to the back of the net. And the power play clicks again. Now a goal in 8 of the 9 games that the Montreal Canadiens have played this year. Josh Anderson deserves credit for driving the net, drawing it. And Cole Caulfield cashes. It's good possession, secondary efforts, and execution on the power play for Montreal.
As of right now, that's his 8th of the year, and it ties him for the league lead in goals. Nico Hischier has not scored. The Devils are playing tonight. Kucherov and Tampa Bay are not.
Montreal goal scored by number 13, Cole Caulfield.
Flyers to center. Hitchcock off of the far side. Here's Tippett with his shot. That one's directed off the glass.
Number 14, Nick Suzuki.
Savard over to Gallagher. Laid off the boards, out to center. Backtracking with it, Eric Johnson.
Caulfield scores for Montreal.
Andre to Tippett with one touch pass to the far side. It's slogged in by Sean Couturier. So Caulfield from Suzuki and Matheson on the power plays. Here goes Pezzetta in transition.
Jump. Good decision by Heineman not to touch it because Gallagher wasn't quite off.
And the Flyers with an odd man rush. And on the far side, there's a shot from Paling, and that's caught by Caden Primo.
Lane Hutson's got to chip that one in. I know he's unbelievable with the puck, but your last man back pulling a ring off the wall, trying to do a spinorama at the far blue line, not a good idea. Clues up Ryan Paling for a quick chance, bailed out by Caden Primo as he protects the 3-1 lead after this squeaker. It's funny. Cole Caulfield's obviously a natural goal scorer because the non-natural goal scorers are like, my pucks never go in like that. Mine never dribble through the guy's pants and into the back of the net. But the top guys, they seem to find a way.
Philly driving the front of the net here with Nick Seeler. Can't get it to go through. Instead, it's out to center, and Jamie Drysdale skating back for it. Habs come right back in. Here's Oliver Kapanen up the middle. Can't shoot it. Taken by Joel Armia. He tries a shot. That's redirected by Jamie Drysdale in front.
It's been better. We talked at the 10-minute mark that Montreal had to pick it up, kind of dropped with the help of the power play. They have been much better the last 4 or 5 minutes.
And on the left side, Oliver Kapanen drops it back. Newhook goes around the boards. Far side corner, Noah Cates picks it up. Pressured by Kapanen. Gets it off the new hook. Backhanded it. Emil Andre hits the brakes. Up the far side for Noah Cates.
Mayu struggling to get in the door. Busted change.
Who's puck in the slot? Mike Matheson with it. And then lost it. In the hands of Morgan Frost. Played around to the near side. Here's a shot coming from Eric Johnson. That goes wide. Ripped out to center.
Yeah.
Here we go. Caulfield on a break, and he puts it wide.
I was tipped out there perfectly from Eric Johnson. I think it would have been icing had he just let it go. Caulfield would not have caught that puck, but slowed it down just enough.
Flyers pick it up. Morgan Frost skating to center off of the far side. Cates lets it go in the rest of the way. Mike Matheson now. Ahead to Doc. He'll gently play that in off the boards as Montreal change. Ristolainen off the boards. Into the Montreal zone. It's picked up by David Savard. Drop back for Lane Hudson. Evans, long stretch pass, hits the glass. Gallagher's going to get there. And he'll move it right around for Evans. Back to the far side. In comes Savard. Back to Gallagher. Sends one over and Evans scores!
The worst broken stick pass of all time. Slow-mo and it still got there.
A little wizardry from Brendan Gallagher with the slap pass to Evans.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And it's 4-1 Montreal.
How can that happen? How can that happen? Brendan Gallagher, it's his period. He had one go in off his leg. And this bright idea, he waits, he sees the Jake Evans slide out the back door, but there's no way. That's like a curling stone going over there. Jake Evans can't believe that no one touches this, and even Kolosov doesn't get over in time on that extremely slow roller. That is a fortuitous break that everyone on Montreal's bench knows they lucked out with.
The shot was 63 miles an hour from Evans. The pass was nowhere near that. But it is the second of the season, second in as many games for Jake Evans.
Oh, that line's having a night. Gallagher with one, Evans with one, Anderson drawing a penalty that led to one.
And Montreal up by 3. Here goes Heineman charging deep into Philly territory. To the near side, Tippett. Looks ahead to center. All the way into the Montreal zone for Logan Mailloux to pick up. Jack guy to the neutral zone. Snaps it in. Tipped by Kolosov. Off the far side boards. Forster tries to lift it out. What a kick in there by Logan Mailloux. And Oliver Kapanen looking back for Mailloux. He's got to get back. Here goes Scott Laughton. In and lost the handle on it as Jack guy there to bother him too. Laughton turns around and then wrists one wide. Mailloux's going to get his stick back from behind the net. Here's Farabee. There's Sanheim. Swatted out through center ice. Struble goes back for it. Struble up the far side for Caulfield. Low shot. That's stopped by Kolosov. And he's going to cover up to freeze it. Well, Montreal starting to distance themselves here in the second. Gallagher, Caulfield, Evans, and it's 4-1 halves.
players always want more from themselves, and Jake Evans wants more offense. And last night he got his season on the board with his first goal, as well as an assist and a big win against St. Louis. And once you get one, everything just seems a little bit easier, a little bit better. You're moving cleaner, and then you follow up a nice 2-point night with a win with this ridiculous slow motion one-timer. And also now he has 2 in 9 games. Like, that's a good pace for Jake Evans. Like, that's what a little hot run can do for a player when you're looking to get 12 to 15 goals in a season.
Jake Evans, one time in that into the net, has to be the equivalent of hitting a home run off an EFIS pitch, doesn't it?
It's like when yeah, that's right. They're bringing the infielder to throw knucklers at you.
Zach Greinke drops the old 55-mile-an-hour curveball. And here goes Kirby Dach to center ice, right up the middle. Makes a nice move, but can't get the shot away.
Showing that one-on-one game we had not seen the first few weeks.
Tip it down the right side. Stopped at the line. Michkov snaps it off to Travis Sanheim. He'll try and skate it up the middle. He's directed toward the corner.
Now, if you're in Montreal, rock solid. You have 2 minutes. Smart decisions. Conservative decisions. Just for 2 minutes. Get to the intermission at least 4-1.
Anderson far side. Is it round the boards? Minute 25 to go in the second. Hudson tried to send that out in front.
Hudson pinches. Josh Anderson standing right behind him. That's what you want to see.
This puck does not get out over the blue line. Anderson's in onside. Tried to toss that out in front. Instead picked up by the Flyers. Rich Delainen on the far side. Michkov to center. Plays that in. It'll be picked up by Lane Hudson. Passing off to David Savard.
What's going on? Everyone's after Brendan Gallagher over there. Is that Michkov?
Little chaos at center ice. No gloves on the ground, though.
Konecny slides in there. I think that was Gallagher and Michkov that were initially tangled up. Both are heading to the bench, but one I'm sure Montreal end up with a minor here somehow. To Jack-Eye.
Unsportsmanlike.
For unsportsmanlike.
Or Matheson for instigating.
They call the penalty, so someone's getting something here. All right, there's nothing there. Slash, whack, sticks up. This is... Okay.
All right, Michkov will be the only one to get a penalty out of that.
He was swinging the stick around a little harder. To me, that's both guys roughing. Both guys are part of it. Both guys are doing it. But this is perhaps a little, like, I get there's a little poke by Michkov, but Gallagher had already done his fair share previously. Even if I'm on Montreal's bench, like, that should be an even-up call. It's not. Montreal gets the benefit of a call that they did not get a benefit of earlier in the game, so maybe these things even themselves out. And now a chance to really put this game away.
50 seconds left in the period.
51 seconds here and the minute 10 to start the next. Real opportunity for a hot power play to go to work.
1-for-1 tonight. Here's Mike Matheson.
There it is.
Far side out in front. Suzuki, the shot up on Kolosov, loose at the side, and eventually settled down behind the net. Flyers can't get it out, and there's going to be a penalty on the far side. Hathaway was squeezed out along the boards. They're going to call Suzuki for interference.
That's the second game in a row that Montreal
number 14, minor penalty, interference.
Created a really good chance right off a face-off win, right? It was Newhook who slammed one home, and this time it was Suzuki who ends up with a one-timer. Here's a penalty. This is absolute. Now, Hathaway goes down in a heap, but that's still interference. It's too bad because Montreal had something cooking right off that face-off. Suzuki had a one-timer in the slot that Kolosov made a nice save on.
So we'll go 4-on-4 for a minute 46. Off the draw, taken by Matheson. He'll find Lane Hudson. And he'll start down the left side. Hudson tracks it down again at center. Plays it over to Mike Matheson.
Back to him. There it is.
Lots of space here for Hudson. In on the left side. Toward the goal line. Throws it down in the corner. Backhand. Goes to Matheson at the line. Move to the inside. Back off the wall for Yoel Armia. Floats it down low. And Montreal's going to run out of time here to try and create something offensively. That said, they do get 3 unanswered in the second period of play. Brendan Gallagher, his 3rd of the year. Cole Caulfield's 8th of the season on the power play. And Jake Evans with his 2nd goal in as many games. The Montreal Canadiens take a 4-1 lead to the intermission after 40.
begin on Saturday, the Eastern semifinal kicking things off between the Red Blacks and the Argos. Pre-game show gets underway at 2 Eastern time, kickoff just after 3 here on TSN as well as CTV. All right, all Montreal there in that second period, 4-1 lead now. Marty and Laura back here with you inside the TSN studio. And oh, here we go again. Another game, another goal for Cole Caulfield. Give him 8 on the season right now, and temporarily anyway, moving him into a tie for first in that category in the NHL. And I mean, we're only a couple weeks into the season. We're already running out of things to say about how great he's been playing so far.
Well, you know what? He could have scored probably 3 or 4 in that power play. And the Montreal Canadiens power play has actually been good this year. With that power play goal, they're now top top 10 in the NHL. The penalty kill is also good. So special teams are doing their job. But look at these looks by Caulfield. One-timer gets blocked. One-timer misses the net. There's another shot from up top. Now that they're taking away Cole Caulfield, you got to find other options. But this is great. He uses his right hand, puts it down, pulls it away from Ristolainen, and then finds the little squeaker on Kolosov, the goaltender. Good goal scorers can do that. And you look at the numbers this year for Cole Caulfield. His expected goals on the season is at 4. He's got 8. Good scorers are going to find a way to create more than their expected goals. And that is why Cole Caulfield is at 8 goals right now. And he's finding the little holes and the little spots to be able to put it in. Doesn't have to be posted in all the time. You find these little areas to beat the goaltenders. And when you double your expected goals, you're getting results.
And we like the numbers theme here. 8th point in 8 career games against the Flyers and goal number 8.
That's pretty good.
On the season. 8. Put some money on it. Cayden Primo, we were talking about how important this game was for him. Yes, born in Michigan, calls Philadelphia home. A lot of pressure when you're in that environment there. It's kind of been an interesting game for him as well. We haven't really heard his name a lot there in that second period either.
There was a couple of flurries in the first period. He was very strong with his positioning. And then early in the second, he made a couple of saves. But when you look at Cayden Primo, he had a tough first start of the season, right? And then in his last 2 appearances, he's given up 6 goals on 71 shots. That's a .915 save percentage. And today, in this game, he's already made 15 saves. But the one on Farabee early in the second was on a partial breakaway right here. Look at his positioning. On top of the crease, very confident, very comfortable, no rebounds. A lot of those plays, no rebounds. That's a key. When you're a goaltender in the NHL and you can keep that puck with you, not give the other team a second or third opportunities, you'll take the face-off. It doesn't matter if your team is good or bad on draws. You want the whistle. You want to slow things down. And that's what Cayden Primo has been able to do in his last now 3 appearances for the team.
And one of the things you talked about, the difficulty with playing back-to-back, you need your goaltenders to play well, and he's definitely been playing well. The road warrior for the Montreal Canadiens, they played 3 road games. He started all 3 of them. And yes, it is back after a couple weeks away. Have or have not makes its triumphant return. Marty will be on the hot seat next. not. Have you done this before?
Last year.
Last year. First one this year.
And I won last year.
You won, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to win this one, too. I know we said we were running out of ways to talk about how well Cole Caulfield is playing so far. We're going to get into Cole Caulfield to kick things off here as well. Cole Caulfield, have or have not, will score 50 goals in a season multiple times in his career, Marty.
Have, for me, when I look at Cole Caulfield, I think he's got all the makings of a 50 goal scorers multiple times in his career. I think of Braden Point, who did it, 51 goals. He didn't do it in multiple seasons yet, but plenty of time to go. And that shot, right? That's how important it is to Cole Caulfield to be able to find the back of the net on that wrist shot. Last year, there was 4 50 goal scorers. The year before that, there was 5. I think we're going to get to see about 6 or 7 on every given year. And I think Cole Caulfield is going to be one that will hit the 50-goal plateau multiple times in his career.
So we might not know the answer to that for another 10 or 15 years. So we have to hold off on whether you're right or you win this.
Or maybe it's this year or next year.
That's right. That's true.
Yep.
Look at how smart you are. Well, he had 28 goals last year. That was his career high. We know what he's doing so far this year. How about Kirby Dach? As we said, he's kind of been playing as a different guy over the last couple of games here. But he is better on the wing as opposed to playing center. Have or have not, Marty?
Have not for me. Look, I know it's great for Kirby Dach to be playing with Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield right now and give him some offensive confidence in his game, but you got to move him back to center at some point because you want your 1-2 punch. Suzuki, Dach in the middle of the ice. And Kirby Dach's a playmaker. He's a guy that likes to have the puck in the middle of the ice. We saw it in this game against Philadelphia. Almost got hit by Sean Couturier, but still he likes the middle of the ice. And I think that at some point you're going to have to move him back there. And I like him as a center. I think he's better as a center because of his playmaking abilities. So I'm going to say have not. He's got to go back to center and really find out what you have in your 1-2 punch down the middle for the Canadians.
Oliver Kapanen, 21-year-old, made the opening night roster for these Montreal Canadiens. Still hasn't scored a goal yet. However, have or have not, he will be a top 6 forward on this Montreal team next year.
He's a top 6 forward right now, in my opinion, but next year I don't think it's going to happen. I love Kapanen, so have not for me. I love Kapanen because I think he's got the skills, he's got the speed, he can be a really good player. But you look at what the Montreal top 6 could be if everybody's healthy. You got Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky. You got Dach with Laine and as Demidov coming in from Russia, rounding up your top 6. So I think if Kapanen is doing what he's doing now, but on a third line, that means that you're going in the right direction for the Montreal Canadiens. So have not with Kapanen playing top 6, but it's not because he can't. It's just because the depth is going to be good for the Canadiens.
All right, well, we had to get in a goaltender question. Sam Montembeault, Marty, have or have not, will be Canada's starter at next February's Four Nations face-off.
Have Montembeault will be the starter. Listen, I know in February it's in a long time, and the team's going to be announced later in November. But if the tournament was to start next week, Sam Montembeault has been the best Canadian goaltenders this season, and the numbers prove it. A .914 save percentage. Until this past weekend, there was no other Canadian goaltenders above a 900. Binnington is at .903 now, but Stuart Skinner is .890, Aiden Hill's .864, Connor Ingram is .862. It just go down and down, and nobody's really played well in net as a Canadian netminder. I think Montembeault has had the early lead. Obviously, it's fluctuated so much, and it could change a lot. They'll take whoever's hotter in February, but if the tournament was to start this week, I would pick Samuel Montembeault.
Plus, it starts in Montreal. You got to put him in Montreal.
He knows the building. The fans love him.
The fans, that'll get the crowd going. All right, that is it for have or have not. Marty, you win. I don't know what you win.
2-0.
But you win.
2-0.
All right, when we come back, we've got more highlights for you. That Oilers-Red Wings game is now final. We'll show you how that one finished up. goals. Gallagher, Caulfield, and Evans doing the honors. We saw a couple of weird ones there in that second period. Before we get you to those highlights, let's check in again with Victor and MJ.
Well, Mike, for a lot of the start of the season, it's been the top line carrying the offensive load for Montreal, but they've received some good depth contributions here lately.
No team can get by with just the top line scoring, no matter how well your defense plays. You need offense throughout your lineup. And if you're one of the depth guys like the Evans, Gallagher, Anderson line, you feel a responsibility. You feel a desire to want to help out, to contribute, to score goals, create points. And St. Louis last night and again through 2 periods against Philadelphia, they have been impactful. Gallagher to the front of the net with a goal. Evans with a late one-timer on a crazy broken play pass. But even Josh Anderson, who was a question mark to start the game with an injury, skating well, drawing penalties, involved physically. This is the kind of thing that Montreal needs. Not every game, but somebody else chipping in game after game will make them much more difficult to play against when the top line is rolling the way it is. So far through 40, so good.
Evans, Gallagher, and Anderson, all three of those guys got married in the offseason, and on that matrimonial note, it seems to have translated quite well here to chemistry on the ice tonight.
It's always something, right? Okay, as promised, we've got the highlights from the Oilers-Red Wings game. We're in the third period. It's Leon Draisaitl getting into Evan Bouchard at the point. What a rocket. Shot clocked at 94 miles per hour. And this one needed overtime. We're in the extra frame. Didn't take long for this one to come to an end. It's Connor McDavid to Mattias Ekholm, who goes to Draisaitl. On his 29th birthday, Draisaitl assists on the game-time goal and wins it in overtime. 3-2 Oilers at a good start to kick off their road trip. Checking back in again with the Ducks and the Devils now. Early second, we're still tied at a goal apiece, and it's Stefan Noesen with his first of 2 goals in the period. He's now got 4 on the campaign. The Devils pulling away. It is 4-1 after 40 minutes of play. All right, the Canadiens a period away now from their first road win of the season. Let's get you back now to Philadelphia.
Well, Lawrence, a 4-1 lead here for the Montreal Canadiens, and Brendan Gallagher's got a goal and an assist on the night.
And has yet to use his stick properly in either situation. His goal was off his shin, and his stick broke in half as he slid a very slow puck down towards Jake Evans. But you can never question Brendan Gallagher's heart or his commitment, his desire to be a contributing member of the Montreal Canadiens. It's nice to see him be rewarded for all the work he puts in with a good night on the road with his line. Jake Evans, Josh Anderson have been really solid.
Mentioned there during the intermission, got married in the offseason, then comes in and scores a couple goals here off the hop. Good time to be a Gallagher right now.
4-on-4 here to start for about 1 minute and 10.
And the Philadelphia Flyers give it away at center ice. Here goes Lane Hutson up the middle, passing off Caulfield with a look for another, and Kolosov takes that one away.
That was empty net availability. What a play by Hudson. What a dish.
Loose puck right in the slot. Hard shot. That one's hammered wide by Emil Andre. Oh, Caulfield's had a couple great looks at a multi-goal night. Had a breakaway in the second.
Yeah, the goal he scored was probably his least dangerous attempt.
Right. And that's how it goes sometimes.
He's got his head skyward going to the bench. Can't believe he didn't put that last one past Kolosov.
Here goes Owen Tippett skating in over the line, passing off far side. Andre drops it back. Tippett over to Drysdale. This is redirected by David Savard. It's high out of play.
And this is how you play 4-on-4 if you're the Montreal Canadiens. You play good defense, you turn a puck over, and then you attack with numbers when you're clearly at the advantage. And Hudson steps up, gets the middle of the ice. How about selling the shot? Draws everyone in, kicks it over to Caulfield, who has a wide open net. Now he's on his strong side, so he's got to catch and release. And doesn't put it right up and under the bar. He had the top half of the net available. Mid-net was taken away.
Morgan Frost gets waved out of the faceoff dot here, so it's Dvorak versus Tippett. And Dvorak wins it back.
That's what you like to see out of Dvorak. So strong on his left side faceoffs.
David Savard. Matheson stretches it down the ice. Dvorak in transition. Tried to feed Anderson out in front. Now Tippett curls one back for Morgan Frost. Off on the far side, Matvei Michkov. Sanheim looking over for Frost. That's broken up by Nick Suzuki. Brief power play is over for the Flyers. They're 0 for 3 on the night now. Avs are 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Loose puck at center. Reeled in by Jaden Struble. Plays it in deep. Sanheim off the end boards. Has the one goal tonight for the Flyers. He scored a career high 10 with 44 points last year for Philadelphia. On the second year of an 8-year deal. It's going to keep him a Flyer for what looks to be a long time. Now here's Poehling in transition. Far side wrister blocker save made by Cayden Primo. Joel Armia to the neutral zone. He'll shoot it in. Kolosov ventures out of the net. Eric Johnson plays it back around the boards. And Nick Seeler takes a knock from Kirby Dach. Here goes Cates. Dishing off far side, offside at the Montreal line.
So this third period could be an interesting test for Montreal, as John Tortorella's team will clearly push, try to create offense, which has not been easy, finding combinations that work for him. But at the same time, it's not always been easy for Montreal to defend effectively and keep pucks out of their own end and out of their own net. So, you know, Montreal plays with a lead here. Can they be smart and disciplined and not just sit back and play on their own end the whole third period? So far, it's been a pretty good start in that regard.
Neutral zone faceoff controlled by Tippett. And back that into the Montreal end. And a turnover, mishandled behind the net. Noah Cates almost jammed that home. Instead, it's jammed up at the side of the net, and the whistle sounds.
Not the cleanest handoff from Cayden Primo. He's talking it out with his defenseman. He stops it, and he tries to set it, but he gets off the board. Xhekaj kind of skates into it. Cates puts it up against the post, and Primo just sort of seals whatever he can with a little help from Mailloux. That's the communication gap. You got to know who's going back there, which way they shoot, where they want the puck.
Here's Jaden Struble up the near side for Dach. Played into the Flyers zone. Drysdale over to Seeler. Into center ice. Struble takes it back and feeds it to Mike Matheson. Down the far side, misses the mark of the pass, but it'll come right over to Nick Suzuki. Back down low for Dach. To the line, Matheson. Struble right side, tries the wrist shot, save made by Kolosov, and a good keep in from Matheson, but as he spun around, the puck did come back out over the line. It's offside.
Mira, is that a sneaky heavy release by Struble?
He's a strong young man.
He is a strong player for sure. As Sealer's got some words for somebody. Holy jeez, he says on the bench. Tell you what, the mics have been, the on-ice mics have been picking up some colorful language in the game tonight.
Flyers off the face-off. Andre off the boards, down the ice. Savard directs it over to Lane Hudson. Back ahead to center. Heineman worked off the puck by Eric Johnson. There's a quick rip off the far side from Pizzetta, and Kolosov squeezes that for the whistle.
Don't do it. No need for it. I mean, you know what Delorier is trying to do? And it's not about being afraid. It's not about being intimidated. If you're Michael Pizzetta, we know you're more than willing to go. And your spot in the lineup feels tenuous at times, so you want to make sure to do that if you can if the moment calls for it. But you're up 4-1. Building's pretty quiet. You're in control. No need to get the Flyer faithful up humming with a good fight, even if you win that fight. You just don't need to bring that energy into the game in that situation.
Delorier got his first fight of the season the other night against Dylan McElrath on Washington. Lucas Condotta tried to fight him in the first shift of the first preseason game, and Delorier did not oblige, didn't drop the gloves in that one.
If I'm one of those guys, which I never was, thankfully, I would have never fight in the preseason. I'm not wasting that.
Primo tries to cover this. He does. There's a big pile up in front. Logan Mayu's on top of somebody here.
It's Hathaway. Primo had a hard time finding that puck underneath his glove. So whenever there's a quasi-loose puck, it's going to draw a crowd. And Mayu got Hathaway with a headlock tackle in front of the net and threw him to the ice. So it starts in the back wall here, but as Primo tries to grab it, Mayu seals him off, but this extra little toss. And again, Hathaway looking to draw a penalty on the way down. Hathaway a little bit lighter in the wallet.
That's
today,
right.
as he was fined for a very sneaky, dirty elbow yesterday against Joel Eriksson Ek. Hathaway is a player that does toe the line and occasionally crosses over it.
Signed a 2-year extension to be with the Flyers as well.
One of those guys you hate playing against, but you love when he's on your team.
At the line, Ristolainen has to keep that in, comes back down the ice. Hathaway's going to be making $2.4 million until 2027, so I'm sure he can afford that fine today.
Yeah, but the one from yesterday was flat out dirty. Eriksson Ek just skating through the seam on a power play, and Hathaway gets the elbow out and puts it right into his chin. Like, that is nasty.
Habs off the draw, trying to spring Josh Anderson. That's broken up by Sanheim. Hudson lets the pass off the boards. Matvei Michkov turns it around, finds Konechny in over the blue line, back off to Michkov, dropping for Konechny. Sanheim with a quick shot. That's fought off. Ristolainen far side, move back around. Sanheim again, left side point. Tries to sidestep Anderson. Over to the near side boards. Michkov has that puck get away. And gently moved off the boards down the ice by Anderson. Now Ristolainen resets. Slowly to center, passing off. Jamie Drysdale. And Scott Lawton tipped that in. Far side corner, Lawton feeds the point. Here's Drysdale. Drives a wrister, that one carries wide. Back into the corner, Joel Farabee. Passes it toward the face-off dot. Newhook is there to intercept. And Alex Newhook scrambles ahead to center. Finds Joel Armia. Throws it back in over the line. We're going to call this offside.
Ryan Poehling, former Montreal Canadian. Remember his debut?
Oh, how could you forget it?
Coming out of college, he goes for a hat trick and a shootout game winner in his debut, and he got everyone all excited and immediately had to say, hang on, he's probably not going to be a 100-point guy, but under John Tortorella, he's evolved into a pretty reliable player here in Philadelphia.
He signed a 2-year extension last year, getting just under $2 million per. He's in the first year of it this season. As Logan Mailloux skies this one through center ice. Into the Flyer zone. It's flattened by Noah Cates.
Problem is, if Ryan Poehling is your fourth line center, then you have a nice deep team. If he's your second line center, which he can be at sometimes in Philly, you need more offense.
Here's Tippett. Back to the point for Sanheim. And stopped by Jack-Eye. As it's taken again by Cates. Nice to cycle into the corner.
Look out. Ref got tangled up by the sticks.
And still down there.
That hurt. Carter Sandlak got spilled.
He's still feeling it.
And he tried to jump out of the way, and he got the stick that took his legs out, and he's doubled over in the corner still.
Carter Sandlak, former Plymouth Whaler and Belleville Bull in the Ontario Hockey League, 2 franchises that have since relocated. As this is sent down the ice into the Flyer zone. Up for Garnet Hathaway. Morgan Frost through the neutral zone. Good stick from David Savard. Boxes him out. Heineman takes a hard hit there from Emil Andres. He'll send it down the length of the ice. That's going to go for icing.
I'm going to check in on Carter Sandlak right now because he's hanging in there, wants to finish the game. He said he's okay. Shake it off. He's trying to get out of there. Oh, boy. And guys are still playing. It's a tricky dynamic. The ref is on the ice, his bare hands on the around your skates, but you got to play hard because the puck's in there while also being mindful of the ref.
Andre can't hold that at the line. Forced to dump it in.
One thing you don't really talk about is the attrition of the refs over the course of a season. They suffer injuries as well.
They work a lot of games, cover a lot of miles out there on the ice.
80 or so games in a year, and not many home games, mostly all road games.
There's Couturier far side. Puck pops up. Comes back down in play.
Did
Never
that
touched the netting.
Net?
Apparently not. Here's Sealer. And ends up to the end boards. Back
Now,
up the near side.
If a goal happened, you could challenge that. So
yeah, the puck hasn't cleared the zone yet. Here's Sealer, far side. That's cut off.
Oh,
and Kapanen
man.
gets hit in the face with the puck.
He's off for a breakaway, and he took a puck in the cheek. You got a duck on that thing.
The Habs have had like 3 chances tonight, Mike.
I know.
Clear-cut breakaway.
Anderson in the first, he just knocks it down. Kapanen here.
Hudson had a chance earlier.
Oh, wait, Hudson had one earlier that was turned over as well.
Yeah. He tried to spring Dvorak.
Yeah.
Cole Caulfield had one, and then he shot the puck wide. Flyers at center. Taken away by Struble. Now pass it back up the far side. Misses everybody. That's going to go for icing with about 11.5 to go in the third.
Molson Canadiens hockey.
There's that exasperated look on John Tortorella's face. One I know quite well. I was on Tampa when Torts got his first head coaching job 24 years ago.
Wow. Like in 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
Sanheim after one wide. Broken stick as Ristolainen got the shot away. That's kicked aside by Primo. That was the start of a great run for John Tortorella and the Tampa Bay Lightning, turning that organization around. Of course, Martin St. Louis had a big part in that as well. Here's Sanheim, feeds to the net. Tippett lifts that one just off the mark. Ristolainen rips it across to Sanheim. Laid back down low. Into the corner, Cates.
There's got 3 guys on 2, right? But now it's on Suzuki and Caulfield to support the middle of the ice if they don't win the battle. And that's where they get themselves in trouble.
Here's Sanheim with a look, and he'll seal that one just high off the glass.
Got to support the middle if it's 2-on-3 out there.
Another puck battle along the boards. This time Caulfield comes away with it.
He's in the right spot, though, to help.
Backhanded in by Ristolainen. Taken by Struble, reverses around for Caulfield. Tipped by Farabee, picked up by Mike Matheson. In on the left side. Mike Matheson sends one right to the glove of Alexei Kolosov. And he'll snap that shut for the whistle as the Montreal Canadiens enjoying a 4-1 lead here almost halfway through the third in Philadelphia. Time now for the Molson big moment of the game.
And of course, it comes off one of the hottest goal scorers in the entire NHL. Cole Caulfield, another weak side wrister, finds a seam through Kolosov on the power play, and his electric start continues. Now with 8 on the year, just one back. Nico Hischier got one as well today, so he is one behind the league lead and in a great spot. In fact, he probably should have the league lead. He should have at least 9 in this game, maybe 10 with the chances he's had.
And Devils up on the Ducks right now, 5-1. Hischier just got their last goal as this is played right off the boards, and Kolosov covers in the crease.
Kolosov's first game, some nerves there. He is just, Marty, just hang in there, Marty. 9:54 left. But for Kolosov, there's an opportunity here in net, right? Ersson ran out of gas last year. Rotov has not been good at all to start this year. So someone's gonna get a lot of starts, and they're hopeful someone can make the most of it.
Logan Mailloux lifts this to center. Again, Kolosov is a relative newcomer here to the North American game. He spent the last 4 years at Dynamo Minsk, his home country of Belarus, playing in the KHL.
Wildly different game in the KHL. Bigger rink also makes your angles a little bit different. Things happen at a different pace.
He finished last year with Lehigh Valley in the AHL. As here's Logan Mailloux, right side, and he'll rip a shot just wide. And Kolosov started this year with Lehigh Valley, 3 games into the American League here, and he's up here with the NHL team.
Philly probably would have preferred to let him just play and get the bulk of the starts in Lehigh Valley while their goaltending up here is solid. But it hasn't been great here, so he gets the early call.
Here goes Brendan Gallagher, deep into the Flyer zone. Philly pick it up, they'll skate it to center. Morgan Frost in over the blue line, passing off. Here's a shot from Hathaway. That's caught by Caden Primo for the whistle. 8:44 to go in the third. Flyers are looking for some signs of life here on Molson Canadiens Hockey on TSN. Brought to you by the Polestar 2. Experience pure electricity performance for yourself.
And this is a good one. Kolosov takes it away from Cole Caulfield. Wide open net. He comes across, gets the glove up. He'll feel good about that highlight reel save on one of the best goal scorers in the league in his debut performance.
And the first ever Belarusian-born goaltender in the history of the National Hockey League. There have been 15 Belarusian players to play in this league before Kolosov.
Of course, the Kostitsins that the Montreal Canadiens organization are familiar with, and you're not going to be very good if you have the league's worst save percentage. So it's just the reality. Nothing you can do.
Flyers set it up. Here's a shot from the line. That's directed wide off the wraparound. Michkov
Second time he's thought
Creative
about it.
thoughts again. And Jamie Drysdale will turn this around for Sanheim. Sanheim looks to stretch up the wing. That's tipped in by Sean Couturier. Lane Hudson angled off the boards to center. Couturier tries to settle it down. He does, and then he feeds Drysdale off the boards for Sanheim. Filtered in, taken away though by Dvorak. Backhanded to the line, and just enough to get out to center. Pezzetta off on the far side. Larmia lays that around. And Sanheim starts ahead for Philly. Neutral zone, Noah Cates. He'll shoot it in. Gallagher, far corner. Gives it right back around to the line. There's Sealer. Long shot is blockered away by Caden Primo. Now Matheson. Pass intended for Gallagher. Explodes off his stick blade and high over the glass.
And Montreal, you like this, though. Not a lot happening. Like, this is how you want this period to look. Just sort of neutral zone, defense, chip out, chip in, and here's the Kolosov and the Belarusian-born players.
Of course, Mikhail Grabovski, another former Hab.
Yeah, Grabo. I think Andre Kostitsyn was there in Montreal, my first training camp. And I thought, who is this barrel-chested guy who shoots absolute lasers?
Now, both Andre and Sergei played with the London Knights, dominant junior hockey players.
I can see why that would be the case.
And Sergei Kostitsyn might have a contender for maybe the best back check in the history of the NHL.
Sergei Kostitsyn.
If you know, you know.
One of the worst changes of all time.
If you don't know, I recommend you YouTube it.
It still makes me laugh when I see it. So, all right, so that's pretty good. Montreal, back-to-back, travel, border, get in kind of late. Philly played at 1, so they were done resting a little bit in advance. And it's been a solid effort. And Montreal has only conceded a handful of shots in the third period for a team that's trying to push the pace. You like to see it.
Flyers backtrack. Got to correct myself. Andre Kostitsyn did not play with London. It was just Sergei. As Andre came over and played with the Hamilton Bulldogs, who at the time were in the American Hockey League, before he joined the Montreal Canadiens. There was Jamie Drysdale up to his own line, leaves it behind. Andre up for Paling. Back in behind the Montreal net. Takai up the far side. Suzuki played that off of Logan Mailloux. Out to center. Andre. Young Swedish defenseman plays it down the ice. Good pass. Hits Scott Lawton. In on a break. Tried to put the backhander home. Instead, it's covered up by Primo.
Best chance of the third period for Philadelphia. Scott Lawton sent in alone. Got to handle a hard pass on his backhand. Caden Primo just tired, or did he pull his groin there? So you got to handle it clean, then you got to fend off the checking sticks of both sides. Mailloux on his left, Doc on the right. Both are there to bother him, but not take a penalty and risk a penalty shot. The bigger concern is, how do you let a guy get in alone on a 100-foot stretch of a controlled D-zone coverage? You got to take that middle away there, Montreal.
Flyers win the face-off. Shot ricochets over to Sanheim. Far side, Delorier didn't get good contact on that. Here's Morgan Frost down low. Behind the Montreal net. Trying to shake off Alex Newhook. Newhook's got the puck.
Good work by Newhook, one-on-one, win a battle. Everything under control.
Down the ice it comes. It's going to be icing here against the Habs.
It's a veteran, I'm trying to skate fast, but I'm actually going slow move by Ristolainen. And there's Morgan Frost. So in Philly right now, the 3 Fs, Frost, Farabee, Forster, 3 very talented players that they were counting on taking steps off good years last year. Last year, Frost had 41 points, Farabee 50, and Forster 33 on a 20-goal season, and they've all gotten off to relatively slow starts, which have caused Philly to get off to a relatively slow start as well.
Flyers won the first game of the year against Vancouver. That was a thriller. And then they went 6 games without a win before they got one yesterday against Minnesota. And it's not looking good for them here. With a little over 5 minutes to play, down 4-1.
They overachieved last year big time, getting it close to the playoffs as they did.
And it came down to the wire. As Lane Hutson plays it up the far side. The Montreal Canadiens threw a bit of a wrench in their plans, playing them a couple times in April. Here's Couturier out in front. Pass taken away by Hutson and skated to center. Evans looking ahead for Anderson. That's knocked away. Anderson in the corner with Drysdale. Drysdale takes him behind the net. Sealer picks it up. He'll pass it off to Travis Konechny. Off on the far side, Michkov. Couldn't corral it. Back to center, Sealer. He'll slam that around the boards. Dvorak. Back behind the net for Mike Matheson.
Philly doesn't really push even though they're trailing, huh? Still falling back into a 1-2-2.
Here's a stretch pass ramped in by Dvorak and shot right back out to center by Kolosov. Matheson rifles that in again off the glass. Not much of an atmosphere here in the third period. Has the 3 goals all in the second to pull ahead 4-1.
Feels like 3/4 of the crowd that was in attendance has left at the 10-minute mark.
Owen Tippett will skate this away to center ice. Dishes off far side. Shot from Forrester directed wide. Sanheim in from the line. Held up along the near side boards. Fished away by Tippett. Far side, here's a shot. That's stopped by Primo. He took that one away from Emil Andre. Now here's Tippett from far out. And hits a body in front. That's jammed down the ice by Matheson. That's going to go for icing.
I wonder if John Tortorella doesn't pull his goalie right now. 3:11 left, down by 3. If you're going to, you do it now. Tort's not going to consider it. Torts is famously direct, sometimes a little bit gruff, but he's a good guy to coach young players up as well because he does teach. And he is passionate about getting the best from his guys. And don't tell anyone, but he's a lovely, nice man. Just not in media conferences sometimes.
There's Drysdale at the point. Tries a shot that's blocked by Pezzetta. Back to the line, one-timer from Drysdale. And send that one wide. Might be a long year in Philly, but regardless, you know there's going to be at least a couple press conference quotes from John Tortorella that make the rounds in the mainstream media this year. In front of the Montreal net, Suzuki settles it down, hands it off to Matheson.
If you're asking me as a player, would I rather a coach be cryptic and send mixed signals or a guy be direct, even if direct is negative? Tell me where I stand. Be real about it. I'm a grown-up. I can take it. I'd rather know than guess. And it's amazing how many NHL players might not know how their coach thinks about how the way they're playing. The Torts, you always do.
Here's Sanheim. Rushing in, scores! Travis Sanheim. 2 tonight for the Flyers defenseman. Skates right through the middle and snipes this one up high. And the Flyers have 2 tonight.
What a heavy, heavy wrister. Sanheim. And again, it's Jack-Eye gets tangled up trying to chase a player laterally at the offensive blue line. And then when a drop pass is made, he gets all gapped out. Sanheim gets the middle of the ice easily. And between Jack-Eye and his back checkers, they got to sort that out. If Jack-Eye's going to surf, which means turn forward and get after a guy, the forwards need to fall in behind and support on the drop pass. They didn't, so now we'll get, there it is, Kolosov coming out of the net quickly.
Flyers win the face-off. It's brought in by Sanheim. There goes Kolosov back to the Flyer bench. Glove down by Lane Hutson. He'll pass off to Gallagher. Dodges a hit from Sanheim, who's up to 49 career goals after the 2 tonight. Back out through center. Sanheim played off the boards to Travis Konecny. In over the line. Here's Tippett. Skates in behind the net. Out front. Konecny scores! And the Flyers are knocking at the door. Konecny late in the third, and Philly's down by 1.
This game had absolutely nothing going on for Philadelphia. They get a nice goal by Sanheim, and then the speed of Tippett. And Savard and Hudson, your 2 defensemen, they both end up facing the boards away from the net. And Konecny goes right to the lip of the crease. Easy tap in. And now all of a sudden we're in for a frantic finish. 1:43 on the clock. And it's just a 1-goal game.
Sanheim and Konecny, 29 seconds apart. Habs are on their heels now. Up by just 1. Kolosov in the net for the time being. This is iced as Drysdale gets back. It'll be a Flyers ozone draw with 1:27 to go.
Molson Canadiens Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it.
Will face off in the Montreal zone to the blocker side of Caden Primo, and the net is abandoned for Philly. 6-on-5. Flyers control off the draw. Sanheim in the line. Back there with Drysdale. Drysdale far side for Sanheim again. Drysdale for Michkov. Michkov high in the slot, floats one in. That bounces to the far corner. Settled down, Konecny. Back to Matvei Michkov. Left side, Drysdale. Passing over to Sanheim. Waits, tries the shot. Flutters wide. Glove toward the line, not out. Near side corner, Tippett. Slowly turns around, tries a shot, short side. Goes all the way back to the line for Drysdale. Back down low, Tippett. Swirls it around. Konecny for Sanheim. But half a minute to play. Far side, Michkov walks in down low. Behind the net. Passing off to Konecny. Konecny high in the zone. Tries a shot, blocked. Dvorak can't clear. Loose in front, it goes just wide. Back off the far side, Konecny. Kicked up by Suzuki, not out. Couturier off the wing, low shot. Pad save for Primo. Struble ties it up along the boards. Back to the near side of the point. Hard shot, blocked in front. Suzuki out to center. And the Montreal Canadiens are going to hang on to this one. They make it a clean sweep on the weekend and beat the Flyers 4-3.
Woo! That got way closer than it appeared it was going to down the stretch, as Philadelphia puts up a furious push in the last 3-4 minutes. Get within 1, get the goalie out. But in the end, Montreal gets a win they deserve. They were the better team for most of this game. And a nice return to Philadelphia for Caden Primo. Have a good game, pick up a win. Montreal goes back-to-back on the weekend.
And that's Caden Primo's first win in his hometown, Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Here's the Molson, 3 stars of the game. Travis Sanheim with a couple of goals and an assist. Your third star, Nick Suzuki, has 11 points now in the month of October with a goal and an assist. And Brendan Gallagher with a unique goal and maybe an even more unique assist tonight for the Montreal Canadiens in the wing. Well, the Habs came into this weekend needing a couple points, and they wind up with 4 after defeating the St. Louis Blues last night. They beat the Flyers tonight. They'll get the Seattle Kraken as Molson Canadiens hockey returns on Tuesday from the Bell Center. Brian Mudryk will be back for that one. Thanks for tuning in tonight, everybody. For all of us here on Molson Canadiens hockey on TSN, this is Victor Finlay saying good night and farewell from Philadelphia.